is what I can sort of give you, is cognitive behavior therapy. Yeah, this is something that has got decades of research behind it. It's evidence-based. It's been proven to be the gold standard for the management of anxiety disorders. Time and time again, we've got research backing this therapeutic intervention. So isko agar hum samajh jaएं and we practice it, to a large extent, we can manage the symptoms of anxiety. We do, again, as I said, we don't want to take anxiety away because it's making who you guys are. ठीक है, आप लोग सारे high performers हो तो lumps में हो ना. If you weren't high performers, there would be some element of anxiety for you to be a high performer. So I wouldn't want to take that away from you, but I would want you to enjoy kar sako apni life and you not be free of some of these symptoms that obviously can be quite add nuisance value to allow our goal in terms of living our life meaningfully. So acha, cognitive behavior therapy kya hai? It's a very simple concept. Is what you think and do affects the way you feel. So it's present focused. Hum log is therapy mein, we're not going to go a lot in your past and sort of dig up कि क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ. Sometimes we might is therapy में, and we're not going to, like, again, because this is a workshop, इसमें मैं आपको सारी इसकी cognitive behavior therapy की techniques वगैरह I'll सारा explain कर देंगे, but we won't go into each of your individual past or उसको dwell नहीं करना. And cognitive behavior therapy में ज़्यादा ये होता ही नहीं है. ठीक है, we need to understand our past in order to make sense of what's going on, but dwelling too much there, how does that fix our right here, right now? So most of the other therapeutic techniques, just psychodynamic, and there's some other modalities, वो आपने 2-2 साल की थेरेपी होती है उधर, जो काउच के ऊपर आपने देखा होगा, वो shrink, फ्रॉइडियन किस्म का सीन होता है, बैठे होते हैं and they're going to therapy forever and ever. उसमें they talk about their past and go round and round and round. तो वो ये होता है कि उसका जो impact anxiety के लिए, you need something to give to someone. अगर उसको anxiety हो रही है, उसको they're going through that physiological symptoms, क्या आप दे सकते हो उस वक्त उसको? ठीक है, कुछ दे दिया, we've given them some techniques, makes their symptoms subside, but ultimately कोई root भी है, उसके लिए हमने देखना है, thoughts को भी देखना है, but we're not going to just go into their past and stay there and चलो जी ये बचपन में ये हुआ और ये ऐसे क्यों हुआ, और ठीक है उसको समझा, it's good to understand that, but like right now हम क्या कर सकते हैं to improve your life. So this is kind of what cognitive behavior therapy is, working here right now, to understand your situation by looking at it from separate parts. अब इसको हम dissect कर देते हैं, ये आपको आहिस्ता आहिस्ता you will get used to analyzing. आप लोग और काफी when we have anxiety, and me included, we tend to be over analyzers. ये skill आपको मसला नहीं होगा करने का. It's just going to be difficult because आपका thought process is going to be geared towards a certain way. हम लोगों का जब हमें anxiety होती है, our thoughts are automatic, they come up. We don't even know these thoughts. They just come up, interpretation होती है, and then there is an emotion as a result of that interpretation, and then a behavior follows. तो हमने उस interpretation को पकड़ना है, because emotions को change करना बहुत difficult होता है. If someone's feeling sad and upset or anxious, and if you say to them, don't feel anxious, don't feel sad, does that help? कोई stop होता
It
है anxious?
doesn't.
It doesn't, है ना? अगर आप sad हो रहे हो और मैं कहूँ ना, just बस करो ना, stop being sad, or you'll be okay, you should have a cup of tea. Does that, make your
That's
emotion?
just the avoidance thing, na?
है
You're
ना?
just telling them to avoid everything.
Avoid everything, और वो
Yeah.
emotion जाता भी तो नहीं है. Changing emotions is very difficult. तो क्या चीज़ हम कर सकते हैं is we actually go up here in the thought section, but उसको समझने के लिए we want to see कि यार what's actually going through my mind, what's actually coming up for me emotionally. Emotions और thoughts को distinguish करना पहले हमें सीखना है, because people can get actually quite confused between emotions and thoughts. उसको भी मैं आपको सिखाऊंगी how to distinguish that. Bodily sensations, what's happening in my body, what's going on for me in my body. क्या हो रहा है? Is my heart racing? Butterflies है क्या हो रहा है? And what am I doing? What did you do? How did you react? ये सारा कुछ हमने समझना है, because thoughts impact the way you feel. The way you feel impacts the way you behave, and also the way you behave. If you want to change the way you feel, one way is looking at your thoughts, modifying that, and sometimes also behaviors को भी अगर आप modify करो, that itself can also change your thoughts. That's one way of looking at it. अगर किसी को public speaking के ऊपर anxiety है, I can sit here and talk about, you know, why their thoughts are irrational या उनको unpack करते करते, you know, I can do that till the cows come home. मगर वो उनको सही तरह impact नहीं होगा until they behaviorally actually go and start doing, because that's going to start to add evidence to their thoughts about I am going to fail or people are going to laugh at me, until they actually start doing it in a safe way. Not कि हाँ 100 लोगों के सामने जाके presentation देनी है, but maybe do it in front of one people, you know, one person to you know, two people that they're comfortable with. Step by step एक हमने hierarchy बनानी है, एक step ladder बनानी है जिसमें least anxiety provoking उन situations से start करने हैं. Once their confidence builds up, they have more evidence. Yeah, actually it wasn't that bad. No one actually laughed at me. No one really cares. So then they can go and do a talk in front of a bigger group, and then a bigger group, and then a bigger group, until they can do a talk in front of the people that they're most scared of doing, which is maybe a number of 100 or 50 or whatever. तो वो behaviors भी change कर सकते हैं आपके emotions को. Thoughts can also change your emotions, and behaviors can, because they can add evidence or to your thoughts कि ऐसे नहीं ऐसे है, and they can change your emotions. So you could start to feel, oh, actually I don't feel that bad, I don't feel that anxious because last time मैं गया था और इस तरह नहीं था. अच्छा, sometimes through no fault of our own, people get stuck in vicious cycles. The things they do to solve a problem can inadvertently keep it going. So I'm useless, no one likes me. अगर ये thought आएगी आपकी, तो you're going to feel sad and demotivated, tired and lethargic. Retreat, you're going to retreat into your shell, cut off from other people, fewer good things are going to happen. So ये अगर आप करोगे, if you're going to be sad and demotivated, वो thought, ये negative thought, and it's not a positive thought. Negative thoughts lead to negative emotions. Positive thoughts lead to positive emotions. Neutral thoughts lead to neutral emotions. Achha, cognitive behavior therapy is not going to ask you to be positive all the time, because that's not a realistic state to be in. That's an unrealistic state to be in. It's actually only going to ask you to examine your thoughts. जब आपकी negative emotions आ रहे हैं in certain situations that are triggering for you, it's actually going to ask you to say, ask yourself these questions. Okay, what's going on for me right now? You know, I'm feeling sad because, जब आप because का question ask करते हो ना अपने से, I'm feeling anxious because there's a thought there. I'm feeling apprehensive because उस thought को आपने catch करना है. उस thought के पीछे हमने examine करना है उस thought को. Is this helpful? Is this accurate? Is this you know, useful? इसकी utility और validity को आपने assess करना है before you allow that thought in. अभी हम लोग जो होते हैं, we don't assess our thoughts, we don't evaluate our thoughts, we just believe everything we think, you know. Who are we if you're not the sum of our thoughts? Normally तो यही है ना हम सबका, that's kind of how we've been raised to think. But thoughts क्या होती हैं यार? Thoughts होती हैं assumptions, judgments, beliefs, stories, images. They may be facts. Thoughts may be true, thoughts may not be true. Thoughts may be accurate, thoughts may be inaccurate. Thoughts may be helpful, thoughts may be unhelpful. अब ये सारी चीजें हम ये नहीं पूछते अपने आप से. We never ask us these questions. Thoughts may be predictions. Most of anxiety is coming from catastrophic thinking, which is predicting worst case scenario. Predictions क्या होती हैं? Unless you, predictions is 50% chance it may happen, 50% chance it may also not happen. मगर हम क्या सोचते हैं? 50% chance that it may happen is the one that we're actually thinking. It's worst case scenario, ये हो जाएगा. हम कभी उसको prediction probability के लिहाज से तो we don't think ना कि prediction is what is probability. It may or may not happen, but we're not thinking about the may not happen. We're thinking it's actually going to happen. The worst case scenario is going to happen. So it's a cognitive behavior therapy is actually going to start to make you to question your thinking and start to think in a way that's more helpful for you and that actually is working for you. क्योंकि जो thinking हम लोग ना सब ने अभी तक की है, is it working for us? Probably not. Again, if it was working for us, तो हम लोग सारे इतने anxious ना होते ना. We would have had some level of understanding कह लो या management of our anxiety symptoms, because हमसे नहीं हो रहा तो जो भी हम thought process use कर रहे हैं इस वक्त, it's actually not working. So we need to evaluate that and examine it in a way that allows us to think in a more helpful way and allows us to achieve our goals.